What if the one thing that you keep avoiding, whether it's the struggle, the effort, or the pain, is the only thing that can get you the life that you want? We all want the reward, but we've been taught to run from the work. We want the view from the mountaintop, but we curse every step of the climb. But the only path to a meaningful life is straight through the heart of the struggle. The world is obsessed with comfort. We're always looking for a hack or a shortcut or a path with little resistance. We're sold on the idea that a good life has to be an easy life, but there's a hidden price for that obsession. Following the easy path or taking the safe route is like living in a protected bubble. It just leads to a dull life. You don't build grit by having everything handed to you, and you never find out how strong you are when you're never tested. Choosing comfort over a challenge is like picking a cage versus the open world. Sure, it's predictable, but it's not where you're meant to be. The price of winning is high, no doubt, but the bill for regret is much higher. And that bill comes due when you look back and realize you never pushed yourself. You never seen how strong you were because you were scared of the hard work. I want you to imagine that a gardener were to plant two identical trees. The first one, he plants in a greenhouse. Now that tree never sees the rain, never sees the wind. It's climate controlled, and every day is the same. Now that tree in the greenhouse looks fine, but the branches are flimsy, the roots are shallow, and they're just sitting on the surface. Why is that? It's because it never had a reason to anchor itself. Now the second tree, he plants this one outside, totally exposed to the elements. Now this tree, it gets beaten by the rain, the wind, and the sun. When things get dry, the second tree's roots have to dig deep searching for water. And on the surface, it looks like that tree is suffering, right? Because it's not living that greenhouse comfy life. But which tree do you honestly think is stronger? Which tree could actually survive a real storm? The one that was sheltered from every form of adversity, or the one that was forced to be resilient day after day? The turning point in our lives is when we realize that we're not the greenhouse tree, we're the tree on the outside. It's the moment that we stop begging for the wind to die down and start working on strengthening our roots instead. This is a total shift in our mindset, something that psychologists are calling a growth mindset. The belief that your abilities aren't fixed, but can be developed through hard work and dedication. It's about seeing a challenge not as a threat, but as an opportunity. And suddenly, failure isn't the final judgment on our worth, it's just data. Pain isn't something that you need to avoid at all costs. It's just a signal that growth is happening, similar to those tears in your muscle fibers when you work out. This is the moment you stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Once you make that shift, there's a few key principles that just click into place. And the first one is, you have to redefine your relationship with failure. Every single successful person has had a long history of failure. Look at Michael Jordan, who said he had missed over 9,000 shots in his career. He didn't succeed in spite of his failures. He succeeded because he failed over and over again. You have to start seeing setbacks not as dead ends, but as stepping stones. And second, you have to choose discipline over motivation, because motivation is just a feeling. It comes and goes. But discipline, that's a commitment. It's about doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. The most incredible growth doesn't happen in some sudden burst of inspiration. It comes from the small, consistent, difficult actions that you take day in and day out. Taking those small steps creates a momentum that's almost impossible to stop. And third, you have to reflect and adapt. Don't just suffer through the hardships, learn from them by acknowledging your setbacks. Figure out the lesson and then do as Steve Jobs said, get on with the improving. Now this isn't about dwelling on your past, this is about learning from your past and building a better future. So what is the reward after all of this struggle? What does the outside tree get that the greenhouse tree doesn't get? The real payoff isn't about the goal that you achieve. It's the person you become along the way. You build this unshakable confidence, not from somebody telling you that you're great, but from proving it to yourself by overcoming the hard things. You develop true resilience and the ability to get knocked down and not just get back up, but get up stronger and more prepared than you were before. You gain this deep sense of purpose and fulfillment that can only come from knowing that you faced storms and you didn't break. That is the transformation that struggle offers you. It turns you into someone who isn't afraid of the wind because you've learned to build your own strength. Everybody wants the crown, but nobody wants to carry the cross. Everybody wants the victory, but nobody wants to fight. But the truth is, you can't have one without the other. The struggle is the path, and the pain is the process. So I challenge you to find something that's really hard for you to do and just go do it. Don't run from the resistance, learn from it. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, because the person you want to become is just on the other side of that fire. Now, if this video hit home for you, hit that subscribe button for more content on building a life that you want.